The only book of mine that's really known is The Mouse That Roared. And let's see, that book came about. I was working on the Los Angeles Times at the time, and I was an editorial writer. And the peace treaty with Japan had just been negotiated by John Foster Dulles. And we got an advance copy of the peace treaty before it had received Senate ratification. Mm-hmm. And I was given that thing to study, familiarize myself with, in case an editorial had to be written later on, when it was ratified. And so I read the thing. It was a huge screed. And the more I read it, the more I realized that there was few things as profitable as going to war with the United States and being defeated.
Mm-hmm. Comes out clearly.
The salient points that came out, Japan at that time, the whole economy was tied up by a number of cartels, about 5 or 6 cartels that can control all the money flow, all the capital, all the loans, all the banks, all the rest of it. So that the little businessman or the guy without very much he just couldn't get started. He couldn't get going. Well, those cartels were dissolved by the peace treaty. Japan was never to have an army again, if I recall correctly, nor a navy. Any fighting Japan would have to do will be done by the United States, as the Japanese themselves renounced warfare as an instrument of national policy. Which was why we got into the war in Korea. It should have been a Japanese war, but we'd given them no army and no navy, and they needed defending, so we went into it for them. We sent them all kinds of technical experts and know-how and all kinds of money. We were going to give them loans of various kinds, so on and so forth. And reflecting on the thing, I thought how stupid the Irish were. We had made the greatest mistake in all history. We'd fought the wrong people for 800 years. We'd fought the English and got nothing but blows. And so I proposed, and I wrote a little article on the op-edit page of the Times, proposing that Ireland declare war on the United States. And I thought if we declared war Monday, we'd certainly be beaten by Wednesday, and the rehabilitation of Ireland would start on Friday. And that was the substance of the little piece. Well, nobody took any notice of it. The Irish didn't declare war. But I expanded it then into a book with the little Duchy of Grand Fenway, which is in an economic bind, has to get some money.
Yeah.
Thinks it should form a communist party because the Americans are always rushing in with money to stop people from going communist, and decided that would be dishonest, since they weren't communists really. And they decided that the thing to do was to go to war with the United States. Get defeated, of course. They won the war. So that's the one book of mine that, at the time, I'm not sure. I don't know much about literature, but I think it was the first satire involving international politics that had been published in the United States in a long time. And some people were critical of it. Somebody told me once that there was a move to have me hauled up in front of an Un-American Activities Committee for criticizing the United States. I don't know how true that was, but anyway, I was told that. And it didn't go anywhere. The book didn't do